This is To Be Continued With. I'm Mike, and thanks for checking us out as we continue to break down each episode of The Mandalorian. Now, if you're new here, I say we because I provide the breakdown and my partner in crime, Catt the Legend, provides the hot track for each and every episode on this channel. And if you don't know, this is where I share my 2 cents on comics, movies, and in today's case, the hottest Star Wars property out right now. So let's not waste any more time, because this is exactly where we cue up the intro and get things started. We are on the 4th episode of Season 3. It's Chapter 20, and it's titled The Foundling. And we start things off with seeing the Mandalorians getting ready to start their morning exercise. It's a training session that's taking place down by the shore, and we are shown that some Mandalorians are practicing their fighting skills. But to be more specific, it's the Foundlings that are actually training, while the other older soldiers are watching on and providing combat advice. At this time, Grogu is hanging out with some shell crabs down by the shore, and Din tells him that it's time for him to join in and learn alongside the other Foundlings. A challenge with the young Mandalorian Foundling from the first episode of Season 3 is set up, and it's a simple test where paintball darts are being used. Now, with Grogu being the underdog and already getting tagged twice, he wins this challenge when he uses the Force and he flips over the other Foundling. He hits him with all 3 darts at the same time and wins the challenge with ease. It's a proud papa moment for Din, since he knew that Grogu could do it, but unfortunately, things get out of control and a bit crazy, because a winged creature flies in and scoops up the Foundling that Grogu challenged, only for Din and 2 others to take to the sky and follow the big bird. Now, since they're using their jetpacks, they don't get too far, since the jetpacks are used for more short-range distances. On the ground, though, they do see that Bo-Katan is on her ship following the creature. The show's intro kicks in, and we are back at the cave base where the Mandalorians are planning their rescue mission. It's Din, Bo, and a few others that take off on this mission, while the armorer grabs Grogu and starts to school him on what it means to be a Mandalorian. While she does this, Grogu starts remembering some memories of the past, and we end up getting a flashback of what he saw during Order 66. We are shown how he was saved from the Jedi Temple on Coruscant during the final moments of Revenge of the Sith. We see that he's saved by Jedi Jar Jar Binks. Actually, I'm kidding. It's a Jedi named Kelleran Beg, who is actually played by the actor who originally played Jar Jar Binks in the prequels. We then see that after fighting off some clone troopers, they make it onto a Naboo ship and get the fuck off the planet. The flashback ends, and we see that the armorer has made a piece of Beskar armor for the little guy. From here, we catch up with Din and the others, where they end up setting up camp right before going after the Foundling. In the morning, though, they start heading to the Angry Bird's nest, and since they don't want to warm it with the sound of their jetpacks, they climb the mountain using their wrist cables. We find out, though, that the heavy artillery Mandalorian, who is voiced by Jon Favreau, is the father of the Foundling, and he starts shouting out his son's name as he looks for him within this giant bird nest. The noise wakes up 3 baby creatures, and the mama bird shows up. Now, since it's feeding time, we see that she regurgitates the Foundling out of her mouth to feed the babies. Obviously, the Mandalorians aren't going to let this happen, so a really cool aerial fight breaks out. Now, between them using their flamethrowers, their wrist cables, and basically every and any weapon that they have at their disposals, they end up saving the Foundling. They also end up bringing the 3 creatures back to base. The interesting thing is that Bo-Katan lost a piece of her shoulder pad armor during the mission, and the armorer makes a replacement for her. While this is going on, the armorer asks Bo-Katan if she will be adding the insignia of the Night Owls, which is Bo-Katan's symbol. Then she asks the armorer if she can also add on the symbol of the Mythosaur. Why? She ends up telling the armorer that she actually saw the Mythosaur, and the armorer kind of reacts like it's nothing more of an omen. Kind of like she's crazy, though. But Bo-Katan explains that she actually saw it when she dove in to rescue Din from the living waters. The episode ends up coming to an end, and again, we get another great chapter that keeps moving this story forward. I think, though, that Lucasfilm has a bigger budget for this season because everything looks really, really good. More importantly, the show was able to highlight the fight between the winged creature without it looking corny or cheap. Now, the progression of Bo-Katan and Grogu is evolving in a fun way, and the flashback to the prequels was a great addition. Now, I don't want to say too much, but it's a short episode. What I do want to point out and say thanks to John Patz, who also pointed out that other shows like The Bad Batch are contributing to this series, just like this series is adding to the larger Star Wars universe, specifically the sequels. You see, events that happened in The Bad Batch helped with the revelation of the Mythosaur in Chapter 18 of The Mandalorian. So thanks, John. Now, kind of like Dr. Pershing's stuff from last episode seems to be exploring how the Emperor Palpatine returns in The Rise of Skywalker. This is all connected. And this episode was a straightforward episode filled with action, expanding on the lore, and setting things up for characters that will impact what comes next for them. Mind you, this was done in 30 minutes instead of the hour-long Dr. Pershing episode, which to me was kind of a letdown for the series, but again, it was welcome. Because the reality is, we all know this is all leading to major things in the near future, so again, I really don't mind. As always though, it's a series that makes you want more. But since you have to wait till next week, I want you to make sure that you subscribe. You hit that bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on our next breakdown show, along with everything else that the channel has to offer. Now, if you did enjoy this installment of what we do here, please like, share our channel, and comment so we can know what you think. Since it's because of you guys that we do this. The reality is, myself, Bobcat the Legend, we're always going to be here for you. And Bobcat, thanks again for providing the coolest tracks for our breakdowns, because today's title track is called Pages Turn, and the link is in the description below, along with Bobcat's YouTube and Spotify pages. Now, with Chapter 20 coming to an end, we have to wait next week for our next episode. So for now, folks, as always, I'm Mike, and this is Simply to Be Continued With.